What is going on, Jets fans? It's your boy DT back with another training camp recap video. And today we have something to talk about. Pads came on and we saw it right away, right out the gates with AG and the new staff. Physicality. I love to see it. One-on-one drills, open tackling, pass rush drills to start off the practice. This is night and day from what we've seen from past regimes. So love the physicality out of the gates for AG and the Jets. Justin Fields was considered limited, looked like he was a full go from the outside looking in, but when AG spoke at the presser, he said he was limited, but in the way we wanted him to be limited. So it looked like Justin Fields was practicing and doing most of the things, if not all of the things the coaching staff wanted him to do. So positive progression, less than 1 week removed from the dislocated toe in his right foot. A couple standouts during the physicality period were Peyton Page. He had a good couple reps, even in team period. He was blowing up the line of scrimmage. So against backups, so we need to put that caveat in there. But Peyton Page, a UDFA at the interior defensive line position where it is an open competition outside of Quinnen Williams, in my opinion. So love to see new names kind of popping into the mix and asserting themselves as a potential option in the middle of this defense up front. Another standout in a similar way at a position that needs more depth help, Jarius Monroe, last year's UDFA from Tulane. He had some really good tackling in the open tackling drills and then a couple good plays in teams as well. Two players that the coach gave some pretty effusive praise to in his press conference, one on offense, one on defense. Rookie Malachi Moore, the safety slash versatile defensive back from Alabama. Seems like it's going to be a matter of time before we see 2-7, as AG called him, on the field with the starters. I understand Tony Adams is the penciled-in starter right now, opposite Andre Cisco, but Malachi Moore is such a high IQ, cerebral player, great diagnosis, great play recognition. He blew up a play in team period and then had another great PBU. So a lot of things to like from Malachi Moore, entering only his fifth practice in the NFL, first with pads. And as Will Parkinson noted on Twitter during practice today, the pads coming on is only going to help Malachi Moore's stance as being considered a starter on this defense. And I think before long, we will see 27 out there running with the one. So effusive praise for Malachi Moore. And then AG also had some really good praise for wide receiver free agent signing Tyler Johnson, who came over from the Rams. And at the back end of this video, I am going to do a quick film breakdown of two plays that AG talked about at the presser about Tyler Johnson and why they liked him so much going into free agency. So those are your three standouts. Peyton Page, also from Clemson, physical in the one-on-one drills against backups, albeit. So we need to add that caveat. But it is important to note that guys at the safety position, guys at the defensive interior position, where there is an open competition behind the starters, Quinnen Williams, Andre Cisco, there's a lot of mysteries, right? So having these guys at positions of need where there is an open competition, stepping up, asserting themselves into these roles could be huge for the Jets and the potential of having not only starter quality players, but good depth options as well at these positions. So Peyton Page, Malachi Moore, Jarius Monroe, all the defensive standouts today. Slight bit of accountability citing at One Jets Drive, which is a refreshing feeling as well. Jeremy Ruckert, our assumed tight end 2, had a false start penalty in teams, immediately taken off the field. I'm not sure how long he sat, but the fact that the coaching staff didn't just say, nah, that's okay, go back out there and try it again, right? They took him off the field. He's got to learn. No false starts. Undisciplined teams do not win games. We heard the coach say that himself earlier last week. So I love the accountability aspect. One injury of note, unfortunately, center UDFA from Purdue, Gus Hartwig, or as coach called him, Big Gus. He suffered a leg injury or a possible knee injury. He stayed down on the turf for quite a few minutes before being helped off very, very gingerly by the trainers. So the first injury of note with the pads, he's still a depth backup player, but you don't want to see injuries start piling up now that the pads are on. And a kicking competition update just at the very end. Harrison Mevis, 6 of 6 today, 1 from 50-plus yards. Looks like he has the slight edge over UDFA Caden Davis from Ole Miss, who went 2 of 3 in the first period. I didn't get an update on how he went in the second kicking portion of practice, but it does look like the thicker kicker is starting to emerge as the potential starting kicker for this team, and special teams is a huge question mark right now for the Jets. So excited to see someone slightly emerging from this unit. We're going to go in now and talk about those 2 Tyler Johnson plays that Coach AG talked about earlier today. I'm going to take it full screen here. This is the Detroit Lions in week 1 against the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams come out in a 3-by-1 bunch set. You see 3 guys to the top of your screen, the tight end attached, Cooper Kupp, and then Tyler Johnson at the top of the screen in the bunch. We'll play it through here, but you'll see Cooper Kupp comes in motion to make it a 2-by-2 formation. Tyler Johnson's going to run a shallow cross. He only gains 2 yards on this play, but it's the fact that it built up to something later in this third quarter that helped the Rams get a huge boost on the Lions that AG kind of fell in love with Tyler Johnson. So we'll play it through here. Cooper Kupp comes in motion, 2-by-2, looks like man coverage. Tyler Johnson does a good job. He has a little bit of separation, but the safety, Brian Branch, converging, and Terrion Arnold trailing in defense. Quick 2-yard gain for Tyler Johnson. But 12 minutes later in the third quarter, the Rams come back. Again, a 3-by-1 bunch set formation, except this time the tight end is attached, isolated as a nub on the top end of the screen, and you have your bunch down to the bottom of the screen. Again, Tyler Johnson, Cooper Kupp. I'm not familiar with the third wide receiver there, but Cooper Kupp, again, guys that could do it, but it seems like Tyler Johnson is definitely going to be in consideration for this wide receiver 3/4 role potentially. It looks like Josh Reynolds has number 2 locked up pretty well, but Tyler Johnson and his route running prowess and his ability to be shifty after the catch with the ball in his hands, I think that's going to go a long way to proving to the coaching staff that he deserves a spot on this 53, right? Malachi Corley, Xavier Gibson, they're kind of on the bubble right now. Arian Smith, the rookie from Georgia, seems like a shoe-in to make the 53 if they cut a 4th-round rookie before they even, get into the preseason portion or the regular season portion, rather. I think that would be just a terrible use of your draft picks, obviously. So Tyler Johnson is going to push Malachi Corley and Xavier Gibson to be the wide receiver 4, if not wide receiver, maybe even 3 on this team, depending on what happens with Lazard. So I love seeing the effusive praise for Malachi Moore and Tyler Johnson. Few couple standouts to note of this practice. It seems like everything is trending positively for the Jets. And until next time, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm DTereman. Once again, we're on the road to 1,000 subs. Refreshing feeling at One Jets Drive coming out of camp today. Let's hope it all continues. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Until next time, let's go Jets.